Hello, everybody.
We're live.
I'm here with Gick. Hello, Gick.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. I just got like some really bad news in the past like half hour. So I was doing better like a half hour ago. So yeah,
Oh, you want to share the bad news?
yeah. I mean, the bad news is going to be like I think probably the main thing we talk about today. So I'll save it for like five for like 5 minutes from now. But it's not great. Not great, Bob.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So yeah, I partially updated the map today. Look at this. Very partial. Uh, See, like, this is like a partial update, and if you look at yesterday, that's like a full update. Man, I just have this feeling that there's going to be a missile strike tonight. I don't know why. Like, it's not based on anything. Like, it's just kind of like a feeling I have. I don't think anyone said anything, have they? I know that there were Vanek was talking about some shaheads, but like that's not super big deal. I just feel like tonight's the night. And I don't know why. It's not like there's no reason. I just feel it. Do you feel it?
No, I don't feel anything anymore.
Oh, that's great.
This week was intense.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some shaheads flying around right now. Not, I don't think there's too many. A few of them are doing that normal pass that they do, where they go from Berislav towards Snihurivka. So that's kind of their thing. Is I think they typically cross the river around Ivanivka. I think that's where they cross, and then they kind of go on up towards Snihurivka. So they're doing that thing. There's a few over here near the Kinburn Spit, traveling due north, basically. Well, probably not due north. I always forget where that city. Oh, here, going towards this city. So they're coming from the Spit, going like that, and I think there's a few going towards Odessa, and a few going towards where am I? Uh, like this part of Mykolaiv, like just south of the city. So that's kind of what's going on with the Shaheads right now. It's just all the kind of typical stuff going towards Snihurivka, going towards I don't know how to say this. I've never actually said this city. I'm gonna try it. Vav, Vav, Vovnesensk, Vovno, Vovnesensk. Whatever. I tried. I need to like practice before I say things. Anyways,
Andrew, we do have Konstantin here.
oh, Constantine's here. How do I say that word? I don't know where to put the stress.
What did you say?
It's the city in Mykolaiv that's Vovnesensk. Where do I put the stress in this?
Voznesensk.
See.
Voznesensk.
Yeah. Yeah. This is. Do you know anything about this city or town or whatever it is? Do you know anything about it?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I know nothing about it other than Russia pretty regularly attacks it, and I don't really know why. I don't know if there's anything here. I know there's there's
It's
air.
not from Mykolaiv, right?
What's that?
It's north from Mykolaiv.
Yes,
right?
there's this airfield. I don't know what this airfield's up to these days.
Maybe that's because they got their asses kicked there, because was like initially the beginning of the war, of the invasion. If you remember, they maneuvered past Mykolaiv, and this was the only bridge that was left that would supply Mykolaiv from the across the Dnipro, and they tried to cut it off, and they were basically all killed. like they suffer, their VDV suffered, and Spetsnaz suffered their like big casualties. I think they lost up to 2 battalions there. That's what I remember about it. I read a big article about a guy who was there, and also there is not far from it. I think is the I think it's how you call this Shirokii Lan. That's a large military installation, but I think it's like 20 kilometers from it. So maybe it's like, a big hub for where our military lives, for example,
Maybe
and they try to target it. I
they
don't know.
they throw a
That's
lot of shaheads at it. That's all I know.
perhaps.
Yeah, it's like I feel like every other time they use shaheads, they hit this city. It feels like it's like every other time. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's really often they've shot a lot of shaheads there. I don't know how many do damage. I do remember a bit ago. I can't remember when. It was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. One of the shaheads got into here and hit a hotel and blew up the hotel and damaged like a bunch of houses around the hotel. And I remember this. There were a lot of videos of the people who were wounded in that. So I remember that. That was one of the. I think it was a shahed. It may have been a missile, but I think it was a shahed. But anyways, so that's kind of the shahed news. Konstantin, have you heard anything about Avdiivka today?
I heard bad news from Avdiivka,
Yeah,
but it's not firsthand. So
I mean, yeah, I don't have firsthand info either. In fact, all the firsthand info that I have is basically nothing changed. But the people that I've talked to are not where people are saying things changed. So
so they changed in the south, right? From
yes. So yesterday, I think this is a hotel or a spa or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, yesterday Russia had
booked
pushed.
the room,
What's that?
booked the room in the hotel.
Yeah. So yesterday Russia had pushed up to this like hotel area, and there's fighting around this hotel. I read this from a lot of different people yesterday. A lot of people talking about this. None of them made it really sound too dire, to be honest. They said it was just kind of small fighting, not a big deal. And then today, there's news that Russia had pushed past the hotel without capturing it, by the way. They just kept going and they went all the way down the street and more or less reached the houses at the end of the street. That's the claim. And this is coming from like a lot of different sources. So I don't know. Like either everyone's lying or it happens. It's like that's kind of like the only two choices at this point. So the general message here is that the Russians are trying to push down the road, like they just kind of like YOLO'd down, and they're trying to like dig in at the end, and then push more forces into the road to secure the road. So the threat here is that they could build a supply line to the end of the road where these basically the houses start. And it's perhaps maybe they're even in these houses. I don't know, but that's kind of the story going on, and everybody is talking about whether Russia will be able to dig in and secure this road. Now, the reason given for why Ukraine was incapable of defending this road is the reason we always get, right, Konstantin? I bet you can guess.
No, I don't.
The lack of ammo.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason given is a lack of ammo.
that's why we focus on helping with drones. They help with them. They even though drones are not ammo, it helps a lot. To make ammo use more efficiently. Because even like good artillery teams, you still need a lot of a lot of things, a lot of luck to hit, and a lot of ammo to get to your targets. With drones, you can be more, I would say, precise. Drones are probably like even those Mavics that are used to drop the bomblets from. I think you're able to call them precision weapons because you're destroying artillery you destroy an enemy from the distance of like 3-4 miles, sitting in the safe house or a bunker, and you have accuracy of like 20 meters. Oh, sorry, not 20, like 2-3 meters when you drop. And FPVs are of course even more precise.
Yeah. I saw an interesting video of an FPV drone today. Gik, I don't know if you saw this one, but basically, I can't show the video because it's kind of gory. So, but basically, what happened? Ukraine identified these Russians hiding in a little bunker, and this bunker appeared to be their only defense in this little area. Like they didn't really have a trench to hide in. It was just kind of it was like a forest strip with like no trees left because it's all shelled, and a little bunker. So what they did is they flew an FPV drone into the bunker. It severely damaged the bunker, it like blew the roof off, and the Russians got out and started crawling away. And as they were crawling away, Ukraine started shelling them, which I thought was kind of clever. Although their shells missed, but I thought that's kind of a clever way of using an FPV drone. It takes a lot of coordination, though, I imagine, to time artillery with an FPV drone.
Yeah, of course. It's really like with, but the good part about FPVs is that it makes you like learn the coordination really a lot because they're so hard to use. There are so many frequencies that you can use with FPVs. It's like a finite number, and you gotta have multiple teams, and you have to have coordination between them so they don't pollute the frequencies. And this includes also coordination between multiple units, and when you have that, you have also coordination with artillery, I would imagine. And this may be go through the same command and control centers, and this can result in better cooperation. So complexity usually results in new approaches, new solutions, and improvements.
Yeah, so this is, anyway, so getting back to Avdiivka, this is the news that everyone's talking about. So just to say it again, yesterday Russia was attacking this hotel thing. Today there's apparently they pushed up this road towards these houses, and they're trying to dig in and take control of this road. Now, you could say this could be a dangerous tactic for Russia. They could be attacked along the road, and yes, yes, and I'm sure most attacks like this fail, I imagine. We heard so many attacks like this in Bakhmut, where they would push forward, take position, dig in, and they would stay there for a while, sometimes a few days. And if they couldn't connect up, like if the guys behind them couldn't push up and connect them, eventually they have to pull back or get destroyed. These sorts of attacks happened all the time in Bakhmut. They're not anything new, and they are, I imagine, pretty risky. But if you want to move forward, I guess you have to do things like this. Yeah, and ideally, Ukraine would have more ammo. Ideally, so like I wish our governments would supply Ukraine with more ammo. That'd be great. I mean, we give some ammo, you know, little packages here and there, but not enough. Like I wish we could just give like 500,000 rounds tonight.
Yeah, you can actually, but you know, there are a lot of politics involved in there, and you need political will for that. That is not present, obviously, right now in the United States.
Yeah.
Because everyone, first of all, got used to the war, the Ukrainians dying, and now it's something that not something anyone wants to watch, really. And like it's not because it was loud for long enough. It's not interesting anymore for most of the people. And of course, there are things like that no one gives a shit about Ukraine. Also, in the because we survived, which basically means okay, let's when they die, when they're about to die once again, let's pay attention to it. But now let them slowly bleed out, and
That's
figure out
not the sense that I get from people. Most of the people I know are very pro Ukraine, and I live in a very, very conservative area, like really conservative.
I don't know. Most people I speak with, they don't know anything about Ukraine. They literally nothing, not a single thing. You rarely find someone who is who actually knows that the war is still going. Usually, what you hear is that when I meet people, they say, "Oh, is it still on?" That's the question that they ask, and then they ask, "Well, you're getting the billions from us." That's all people know.
Yeah. I mean, the people here might not know much, like they don't really follow what's going on, but they do support Ukraine a lot. Although there are also a lot of Ukrainian.
In their hearts, they support Ukraine, but that's not like in the war. You need like we discussed here. When you need ammo, you don't need support in someone's hearts, and for that there is need for a political will on the part of the ruling elites, which include both Biden admin and Republican Congress, or sorry, Republican House, which is simply not there, and that's the key issue here. Of course, if they would come out and say, okay, we want to support Ukraine in their fight for survival, the people would support it. The issue is that it's too politicized, and they, one of the parties thinks that it can monetize on that, the border thing, and get the political dividends out of it, instead of just saying, oh, let's help Ukraine, and because it's a worthy cause.
Well, the politics is driven by media, right? And because they're trying to respond to what people are talking about. So if you want to influence, you have to influence the media landscape. And that's hard. It's hard to do. But as a group, you can. You can do it. So it's just, I just think this should be kind of the focus of the people who support Ukraine, is trying to take back the narrative of what's going on. Because I think the supporters of Ukraine have done a really bad job at controlling the narrative. They've let the narrative slip between their fingers, and it can be taken back. I think if you take it back, I think you'll see a lot of different political behavior. Anyways, this is.
I don't think that's something that Ukraine can do. That's the problem. I mean,
no, not Ukraine. No, but the people who support Ukraine, the people in all the countries.
If other people in other countries do that, it can be done. But it's not. Ukraine. We don't have the power to do so. So we really depend on those people.
Yeah. So this is the change. I didn't mean to measure that. Anyway, this is the change that people are talking about in Avdiivka. It's about a half kilometer or so, maybe 2/3 of a kilometer of penetration through this forest down this road, and that's the thing everyone's talking about. So I just want to get that out of the way. There's another big event that happened today that made me really happy. It made me so happy to see this, man. Uh, but yeah, Gick, do you want to talk about our friend Moses?
He dead. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can say that Moses is more or less famous within the Russian space. He was, I don't know what was his rank, if he was commanding a squad of drone operators. Anyway, he was himself also operating FPV drones, and according to the Russians, he was responsible for the death of around 400, 500 Ukrainian soldiers and several destroyed vehicles. And yeah, I guess it's good to know that that will stop now, or will have stopped now, so to say.
Yeah, I have seen a very large number of his videos, and I didn't like him very much, to be honest. One thing that annoyed me, well, I'm not just talking about him personally, because I actually didn't really pay too much attention to him personally, but his unit, like his little drone crew. They didn't only fly FPVs; they also flew Mavics and stuff. I think their Mavics were actually better than their FPVs because their Mavics are really good, actually. I've One thing that really annoys me is that they don't post videos; they post GIFs, and it's so annoying. But anyways, yeah, they've sunk a lot of boats, a lot. There was like one day not too long ago where I think they've sunk like 12 in a day, or at least they posted the videos in one day. Um, yeah, that was, and then like the next day they sunk like 8 more. It was like, geez, but yeah, it was just seeing that happen just made me so happy today because I actually didn't know his name was Moses, and then I was like, oh, that Moses, he got smoked apparently. And then I looked at his Telegram. I was like, wait, it's this guy? It's him? I was so happy, man. Yeah. They
Now we only need to get rid of Sudoplatov.
Yeah, and the other guys, the ZSU hunters.
Yeah, but they release less videos, and Sudoplatov is really giving me a headache.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm already really lazy, and I'm leaving you with all the work.
Yeah, I am always really proud of myself when I can locate like a whole Pseudoplatov video because it's hard. Like they're really hard to locate, and sometimes I get a whole video and I just get really happy with myself. Although usually I can't find anything in their videos, and also their videos are usually like 2/3 old. And it's really annoying. Yeah, there's we have a lord in our chat bestowing memberships to people. Like he's out here with like a little sword, like tapping people's shoulders, saying, "You're a member now."
Good lord.
Yes, Lord Flashheart.
Oh, while you're there, you want to show the Lancet digging in?
Oh, sure.
Is it that one? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I'm looking at this photograph, and I thought this was an MTLB with a ZU 23-2 on top. I thought that was what this was, but it's so far from the front that now I'm very confused. So anyway, let's open the video. What is this? Like, honestly, what is it? I thought it was an MTLB of a ZU-23.
I mean, it could still be if it was hunting for shaheds.
I forgot that I wasn't showing the video. Sorry. Okay, I'll try this again.
Yeah, it looks like it is fun, right? And it's even shooting at the Lancet.
Yeah, and then the crew is like, ah, run away.
Yeah, but that won't matter.
Look at this fantastic video footage. It's such high quality. It's definitely a ZU-23.
Did you see how they cut the video there? That moment is just so perfect. Let's cut it real quick
There's
so
two
no one
barrels.
notices that we completely missed.
It hit right there. Yep.
So it exploded in the trees, or
I think so. I think it hit
what
a
is
tree.
the target?
I think it. I think this is a MTLB of a ZU-23-2 on top,
Oh, yeah, yeah, looks like it's very.
and our little friend here. Oh man, I think
And
it hit
cut.
this tree. I think it hit this tree right here.
It has a cumulative ray that can travel a couple of meters.
Yeah, and it's traveling right into the ground there. Because you can also see from the approach that it was definitely not going to hit because the Lancet, it can't. What's the word? Yaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no yaw control.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of does, but it's terrible because it's a little X, right? Here, I'll get a picture of a Lancet. Because I have my ideas for why the Lancet is bad. So like, here's a picture. I'm working on it. Here's a Lancet, right? So its wings are an X because it's copying a hero. The hero's wings are an X because it folds up and gets shot out of a tube. The Lancet doesn't get shot out of a tube, so I don't know why it's shaped like this. It makes no sense to me. It's very ambitious because you need when your wings are on these angles, you have to have higher speed, and the Lancet is pretty slow, so it's very inefficient use of your wings, right? So and also, from what I understand, it was originally intended to have a much smaller warhead in the front. So they extended the length of this section here, and I believe they like doubled the size of the warhead. And I think when they did that, it can still fly, but I think it's really out of trim. So the control surfaces have to basically put too much of their authority into just maintaining the trim of the drone. So when it tries to maneuver, especially up and to the left and right, it just doesn't have enough control authority to do it. And I think that's why it always lands short and a little bit to the left and to the right. I think it's just the warhead's too big, and these wings are just stupid. Like there should just be like probably like one set of wings like horizontal to the ground and a tail surface and elevators like a normal, you know. I think that would probably be a much better design because, and even like they're launching this off like a rail, right? So like it makes no sense. Like it would even launch off a rail better if they had normal wings. Like they just straight up copied a hero. That's really the thing. Like I'll show a hero drone. But the hero's different because it gets shot out of a tube, you know? So that the hero has a reason to be this shape, right? so it folds its wings up, like it's, and also the hero isn't. Well, I think that one's an X, but I think this one flies horizontally. I'm not sure. Anyway, but it has a reason to be this shape. Whereas the Lancet is like the cheap dollar store knockoff of a hero. So it's just stupid. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, that's my idea for why the Lancet's not good. Yeah. Oh boy, things are happening. Anyway. So, I don't know, dude. Is there anything else you'd like to say about that video?
No. Unfortunately, I was making fun of the Lancets, and then just minutes later, there was the next Lancet video hitting a Ukrainian book while it was driving. So that was a more or less really good hit.
Yeah, it hit it right in its tracking radar, which was unfortunate. That's probably like, it may have actually totaled the book. I don't know if Ukraine has spare tracking radars.
Yeah, but it should have preserved the life of the crew at least, because hitting the missiles might have evaporated them.
Yes, I mean the vehicle can drive around. Like it lost its tracking radar, dude. Oh no, that was really bad actually.
Yeah, and as I said, it came at the wrong moment, just when I was making fun of Lancets.
So, man, there's really not much other news to talk about today. There are some Ukrainian assaults. There's this Ukrainian assault right here, where they kind of moved up, jumped into the tree line. That happened right here. There's some shelling and drone attacks around that area. Do you have anything to say about this assault?
No, not really. I was surprised to see it, and also the channel which released it. I didn't see it anywhere before.
Yes,
but that channel isn't very normal to release new footage. So I was very surprised by that.
The thing is that I am not convinced Russia ever took control of this tree line. I'm not convinced. Like it's gone back and forth too many times.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. A lot of other mappers, I think, have it in gray zone still. Nevertheless, we did see drone footage between that tree line and Yahidne, and it did appear like the Russians were rotating squads. So it did look rather established on that tree line.
And there was this other assault here, which is even more shocking to me because we never had evidence that Ukraine even lost this position. But apparently they took it back. So I don't know what to make of that. But that was also right here north of Novoselivska.
From what I understand from the writing in that message, it more or less happened, right after Ukraine lost it, that they took it back. At least that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it too. And we don't really have any other news from this whole kind of northern area. There's this advance near Bilohorivka, which we were talking about this, I think, in the last stream, right? Where we had video of various things going on here, and then I talked about how you can't cross this area here because it's like this really steep valley, and the only way is to go down this road, which is basically exactly what Russia did. They went right down the road and they took all these this tree line here, basically this little ziggy-zaggy tree line. And this isn't a super big deal. This tree line has gone back and forth probably a dozen times or so. I'm not sure it's a very stable defensive position, but they took it for now anyway. This position along this factory or whatever, this industrial area, this is a hill You can see like over here there's like basically like a cliff that goes like straight down. So this is like the top of a cliff kind of. And anyway, I'm not sure who controls that. Every piece of footage we've like ever gotten was Russia shelling this area and hitting it with drones. I don't think I've ever seen footage of Russians actually here, other than the time they assaulted with a tank and the tank exploded. Anyways, that's the Avdiivka area, and we had this news from Vasile, where this is another one of those situations where Ukraine apparently didn't have the ammo to defend, which is unfortunate. But this town, the town is basically worthless. I'll show this in 3D. I think you have to see this in 3D to understand it. Where is 3D? Oh yeah, I forgot I closed 3D because it crashed. Give me a second. But basically, you can see that this is a very small town. This is very, very tiny. There's like a few dozen houses here, and then this kind of like farm. So it's like a few dozen houses and a farm. Oh boy. So this 3D map I haven't updated with the territorial changes yet, but doesn't really matter. So you can see that this town is basically the bottom of a valley. The valley to the south is not that steep. The valley keeps, continuing to the southwest or southeast. But to the north of the valley, there are these hills, right? So Russia was attacking more or less along this line here, moving on up towards the town this way, and also down this hill through this main road here. So these are the two avenues of attack that I know of. They've taken this kind of residential area, whatever is left of it, the not too many houses here to begin with. They're all destroyed. They've been long destroyed. So Ukraine has retreated to their defenses in the hills. Some of their defenses are really obviously seen on even Google. You can see these defensive positions. They're all over the place. And Ukraine has basically retreated to this defensive line. This has always been their main defense here, and it was always their kind of the main thing going on. This town was never a big part of their plans. It was just kind of there. So the idea here is that Russia has advanced roughly to this hill, moving north, west, basically. So they've taken this part of the town. They've taken part, if not all, of this kind of farm area. And it's unknown exactly how far they've advanced on these hills, but Ukraine doesn't control the hills anymore. What Ukraine controls is basically this hill here. So there's this, there's a road that goes up the valley, or it goes up here, this road, and Ukraine controls basically everything to the north/west of this road. And everything to the east and south of the road is either a gray area or Russian controlled. And they also control these hills here. So yeah, that's basically the change that's happened over the past 2 or 3 days in this area anyway. Russia's primary goal here is to get to Avdiivka, which is up there. There's a few more bends in the railway to get there. And obviously their ultimate goal is to get to Siversk. But these hills here are Ukraine's primary defense here. If Ukraine loses these hills, it's actually pretty worrying because behind the hills, there's not great terrain to work with. So holding the hills is kind of pretty important. But losing this town is not a big deal. Losing this hill makes me sad. Makes me honestly very sad to lose that hill. And Ukraine lost this hill a while ago, basically. They lost it during the summer. So yeah, there was a point where there were kind of rumors where Ukraine may have launched a offensive in this area. This was before their offensive in the south, right? Before they attacked like Rabatana and whatever. So, but there are rumors that this may be kind of part of an offensive. This kind of general area. I'm not really sure attacking what, maybe Yakovlivka or Soledar or something. That never happened. And I keep wondering, like, maybe that would have been a better idea. Anyway, Constantine, what do you think about that?
Sorry, I was distracted. Think about what?
The rumors before the summer offensive. So like during this, like before the offensive started, there were rumors that Ukraine may have some offensive near Vasile, possibly towards Yakovlivka and Soledar. What do you think about that? Do you think that may have been maybe a better place to attack?
I don't know. Like, I think that attacking in Bakhmut has to be done a bit earlier, and it was kind of late for that anyway, because like they managed to do some to recover after the Bakhmut campaign that they had. If we were to attack around that area, Soledar Bakhmut axis, I would suggest we had to do it in spring, like mid spring, because it otherwise it would be too late. That's my opinion, and it would go probably the same way as the South did.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I wouldn't attack here with the goal of taking back ground. I would attack with the goal of just getting into better defensive positions. That'd be more my thing.
I don't know about that. Honestly, I don't know. So I cannot comment. What I know that we have to, the more better defensive positions are good. But what I'm saying, I don't know that if those would be the better defensive positions.
Yeah.
But if they are on a different side of the river, probably it would make things easier.
Anyways, so that's that. And I don't know, Gick, is there any more news? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Well, you skipped the tourney assault. I'm not sure if we talked about that in detail on Tuesday.
No.
We didn't? Yeah, so that is something which probably should be highlighted also because to make people aware how much of a pain in the butt this is. Because we've been spending basically all day looking through, I don't know, 20 different Telegram channels, each releasing their own videos to puzzle it all together to figure out what happened. It's really awful. But Russia is losing a lot of vehicles there too. That can already be said. I think there are now, or by now, around 10 vehicles or something like that geolocated to that area from the recent assault.
We'll talk about the assault. What happened?
Well, we can't really say what happened other than the Russians are assaulting and they're losing on the way towards Terni.
Yeah. So
I mean, we don't have the full detailed assault video or anything like that. We only get snippets from drones and stuff like that.
yeah, so we know that I'm trying to remember exactly where that was. Do you remember that video where Russia lost a whole bunch of vehicles and we couldn't ID them because they were like 1 pixel big? I can't remember what day that was. But
Yeah,
it was like
4th of January, I think we had something, because that's when the first footage
yeah.
from that area came out.
Yeah. So I wonder if I can show this video. 'Cause I actually think that some of the things we're seeing now, like some of the destroyed vehicles, might be these destroyed vehicles. I don't think I can show this video. Yeah, I can't show it. But basically, um, Russia was crossing these big fields and kind of moving. So there's kind of one path that went like just straight west, and one that kind of curved up, and they were trying to dump infantry into all these like tree lines, etc. And they were getting hit by every single type of artillery. There's cluster munitions, drones, everything, like every single type of artillery. And they eventually would drop some infantry in, and then they would be hit by cluster munitions, etc. So this was a rather large attack that went on, and we know that they captured these positions. I don't know if that attack was when they captured it, but they continue trying to move up. Like this little area here, this bend, they've lost a lot of vehicles here. Like there's a lot of like BMP3s, a lot of like T80 BVs, and some T72s, BMP2s, things like that. It's actually a lot of their higher quality stuff that they've lost a whole bunch in this little bend just right here, and they try to occasionally move up these tree lines towards the west. Sometimes they move up towards the north, and I haven't seen them make any progress in a bit. But we are seeing lots of destroyed vehicles, lots of BMP2s and BMP3s, especially. Which is weird because we don't see that many BMP3s, to be honest.
Yeah, and I really think that most of what we see now and most of what we place now is actually also from early January.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine this is all from January. There's a big tank column that attacked right here. It looked like there were maybe 15, 20 vehicles in that tank column, and we can only account for like 5 of them, and I honestly think all of them were destroyed. Oh, do you have any news about that ship in Sevastopol?
Which ship? I saw some ship news earlier, but to be honest,
Yes.
I skipped them.
That's Exit's job.
I think they geolocated it right under the water. There was a satellite image. No.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I read the article, but I just can't talk about it because I don't know enough about it to say anything. I can tell you, I read it. There was a ship, and then it was underwater. Was it? Or I can't even tell you. We need Exit. Ask Exit. She knows. She'll tell you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm really quick in catching up. So it's Russian guard ship Project 205P Tarantul in the port of Sevastopol. And yeah, that looks like it's not fully above water.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I just don't know enough to talk about it. There was another thing that happened today that was pretty fun. We mapped that, didn't we? What was that?
Oh, and Bryansk. And was it Bryansk? I think.
I swear to God, I mapped it. I'm so confused right now. Oh, it's here. Okay. Yeah. This boy. It exploded. They got hit by a drone and caught fire. It's so much fuel. It's so much fuel. An incredible amount of fuel has burst into flames. We can watch a video of this, I'm sure. Very successful drone attack. Probably one of the more successful ones on oil.
They damaged like I think four big ones, right?
I think there's more, honestly. I think it wiped out this whole row. Yeah, so it's like I think that whole row was wiped out, except for the ends. Like the end ones are like a different size. Like I don't know anything about oil storage, but with the like there's like these big ones were damaged, and I think the ones behind them were also damaged, but not destroyed, but damaged. And these kind of end ones are I think were okay, but it's tremendous damage. Yeah. But anyways, that's I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know of any other news to talk about. Constantine, do you know of any news to talk about? Do you have any good news?
No, I don't have any news, man.
How's your fundraiser going?
It is going slow.
Oh.
But like we got 20,000 in one day.
It's not
And
bad.
it stopped. Yeah, so the first day was good because as usual we had good content. We had a quite nice video made by one of our big friends that I don't think we can show that video here.
No.
But yeah.
No.
And it helped to draw the video draw a lot of attention. A lot of people, including you, retweeted it. So thank you for that. But we have 30 more thousand to go, which is a lot. And we don't have another video right now, so I don't have a plan how to push it to that number. So I hope I will manage to get something from our guys on who are fighting by mid next week, and it may help move the fundraiser further. But other than that, it's going. I can say it doesn't stop because today is Friday. Friday evening is not the best time for donations, but we'll get there. We'll get there with your help. So thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah, if you can afford a dollar or two, you can put it in the fundraiser, and then you could retweet it to your friends.
Even a dollar helps. If you scroll down, you can see the donations. Someone donates 25, someone donates 100. But there are donations of $10, $5, and they help. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks to Andrew Hack. Yeah, it's really helpful, and even $1 helps. And also retweeting, commenting, liking, it helps with the algorithms as well.
Yeah.
So
and maybe not just retweeting it, but telling people why you think they should care. I think that
that's if you want to help, like actually quote retweeting and writing something like, why do you think it matters? Those retweets help the most, because for example, if I notice someone just retweets it, it means, well, you're all right with it. And if you write something, this means that you care, and those who who follow you, they will see that you actually, not only like it, but you believe it, and you want others to help. So do that if you can. If not, at least like it, and it's already something.
Yeah.
And it's all tax deductible in the United States. So you will get, for your every donation, you will get a tax deductible receipt for donation receipt from PayPal Given Fund, which you later can use to claim to reduce your taxes. As an example, I claimed $50,000 of tax credit just by donations. Of course, it cost me $15,000, but but I saved like 30% of my of the taxes. So thank you.
That's cool. So yeah, I'll put a link to this in the description of the video. There. Boom. Yeah, these the donations are important because there's a lot of reasons why these fundraisers are important. One reason is that they're flexible. Like, for example, Konstantin, I know you've done this before, where there's been a unit that had an emergency and they needed a drone immediately, and you just gave them a drone, right?
Yeah, it happens all the time. So what we do is usually we get the drones. For example, we plan the process to get the drones to Ukraine takes a couple of weeks. First of all, sometimes it can be a month. So we have basically a pipeline of drone supplies. And as the time goes, for example, I often get a message from a unit saying, "Oh, this fund helped us already, so we don't need this." But so we can redirect it to someone else, and someone else in need right now. Also, we try to maintain. We know the needs of the units, and the drones they needed continuously. So I try to keep small buffers. So like we have a warehouse where it's always like 3 to 10 drones available, so that when something and I monitor the units that we work with, and if someone says, okay, we have only one drone left, and if we lose it, like our guys here are gonna be blind, so we're gonna send them the drone instantly. Like they're already there. They have special software already installed. I pay for that software myself, usually, or hardware. It's some drones need software or hardware to operate on the in the war zone. So it's we just send them. And as example of Avdiivka, for example, 110th Brigade, they had like a critical state of the night vision drones, and we had 5 Autels available. And we send them in like next day. We send them 5 Autel Max 40 drones, and they were super happy. You see, and they use them a lot. It's a capable drone, and they were super happy. And I believe that may have saved multiple lives. Of course, this is where we're working with the large, with the brigade command, supply and command. And they don't give videos. They have their own channels where they post the videos. So, and I did not demand give me the videos or whatever. I just guys, take the drone, survive there, and we're gonna be happy for you. And that's what happens. So it happens all the time. And right now, for example, I have 2 DJI matches, 30 drones, 30T, that are gonna go to Avdiivka the same way, because they need them urgently. So it always happens like this.
Yeah. So I think that flexibility, I think, is really the most valuable part, because it's not just raising money and giving drones to like one guy. It's more coordinated than that. It's like this centralized kind of warehouse where you can supply people as they need it. So it's more efficient. And I wish you had more drones to work with. Yeah, I got a message about this last night that made me think about it. They basically said there's this move to have like centralized government funded drone acquisition. I don't know what to call it. Like to have everything go through the government basically. But I don't know if that's good or bad because like groups like yours, you're doing such a good job. Like all you need is more money, honestly, and you'd be doing a better job.
So I want to say that it's while government has to do have to supply the drones as well, and it does supply the drones.
Yeah.
But
When I say this, I mean like government run fundraisers, like charities.
That's where I don't think it's a very good idea, because what's good was the fundraising is that it allows this decentralization, which can let you be much faster, much more, like you say, flexible. So like this is United States is actually famous in the world for a lot of fundraising, and it's people know that it's very popular in the United States, donations and fundraising. And as an example, in even when hurricanes happened, I don't in New Orleans, like the organizations and just small people who started doing Amazon lists just to help with small things to those who have suffered from the hurricane. They could do it much faster than the government could, because the government is usually slow. It's just like it's how it is, because government is restrained by many things. Sometimes it's more effective because of that. Sometimes it's not. So it just I would say that it's another layer, and war is something that is done on every layer of society. It's not only government versus government, it's also civilians helping, and together it provides much more when government and civilians unite and functions properly. You have much more effects than if it's done separate, like only government is doing it. So I do believe that small groups can have large effect, can have large influence on the outcome of this war, and it can save lives. But once again, no one says the government is bad. I think that it's just we civilian society and the government, they it's like symbiosis. They can work together to produce things, because government is much more restrained than you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just got a message about that last night. It made me think. Anyways, I think that's all we really have to talk about. I just got another question about what's his name, Budasov. Did you read what he said today?
Yeah, I read it.
What do you think of it?
About Avdiivka, because he wrote
Yes.
a lot of things.
Yeah, about Avdiivka.
Yeah, he says that things are getting a bit critical. He says that 110th Brigade, I think it was him.
Yeah, he said that they're like they're good, but they're not immortal. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, basically, because we've seen like they're super effective. They know what they're doing, but they're not immortal, and they do need support. And it's not coming. It's not coming in this moment. I don't know the reasons for that, but yeah, things are. You can imagine like what kind of pressure people like Avdiivka holds right now. Whoever says it's like, oh, it's standard. Well, it's not standard to sit so long for one brigade under such pressure. It just you start cracking. So I do tend to believe most what Butусov says, even though there is no video confirmation yet of that.
There's
All the things that he says, but
there's been a lot of criticism of what he said too.
So, like, I would when speaking about Butусov, like the guy is 10 years in the war. He's been there while Zelensky was saying, that let's look into Putin's eyes and convince him not to fight us. Butусov was already there. And when it comes to things like that, I do trust Butусov much more than anyone else. He may be wrong. He may have some, bit wrong information, may some misinterpret it sometimes, but generally he is much more trusted than anyone on this war, I would say.
The criticism of what he said today was basically that the views and opinions of a soldier or a group of soldiers doesn't necessarily represent the reality of what's going on a bigger scale. That's pretty much the criticism, is that what might be true to these 20 guys may not be true if you zoom out and look at 1,000.
Well, the 101st Brigade is not 20 guys. Definitely not 20 guys. And he is not, just some kind of, I don't know if people know who he is, but he works with brigade commanders, generals, and a lot of people who are, well aware of situation and well aware of what's going on. So he's a big guy and he knows what he's doing. So I would be very cautious trying to put him in a bucket where you just spoke with someone who is panicking. So this is my opinion on this.
Well, that was the criticism of him today, and I guess we'll see. And yeah. The cranky map layer. Did you put a cranky map layer on the map?
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Where is it?
you have to refresh it and then you have
Okay.
to activate it.
I have to activate it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a button?
So
Oh, there's a button.
there's a cranky button, then it will load forever, apparently.
Oh, it loaded. Just boom.
Yeah. So this is high-res satellite image, which Emil Castellhelmi provided the public with, showing Crinky in its current state. He provided it as a thank you, basically, to all the geolocators. And it helps a lot, now seeing how Crinky has changed and finding the right buildings. And also finding trench systems, which often are targeted by FPV drones.
Yeah.
And now it's on your map.
Sweet.
I think it doesn't line up fully. I think our technician, our technician seems to have.
Our
So it might not be there for too long. But yeah, you can check it out now, and you can see that some parts of Crinky simply cease to exist.
Yes. Like this part right here. It's not there anymore. These are all
And you see all those
the airstrikes.
The bombs.
Yeah, not good. You can see that a lot of the airstrikes land in the same spot, and to be honest, I don't think that's intentional. I think they're aiming for things that they just kept missing. A lot of these bombs like out here, they weren't aiming in there. I can tell you. They were aiming like over here, and they hit their bags in it. Yeah. And you can see some of the vehicles that are destroyed. These are all BTRs. This is a tank, I believe. Yep. That is like an SUV. from a long time ago. Yep. Pretty crazy. That's cranky though.
Actually, you know what? It might actually line up. It might just be the angle. Oh no, it doesn't fully line up. Probably not. But it could be the angle if you, yeah, because that satellite seems to have, you know, a
It lines
southern
up,
angle there.
lines up here. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah, but the trees. I think the trees are because of the angle of the picture.
Yeah, could be. Maybe at some point we'll add the high res to over here too. Maybe. Now that I've learned that I actually legally can, I have high res of this whole area right here.
Oh, do you want to talk about that and the fact that today on the new 79th video, actually some of those losses again came to light, so they will change from green eyeballs into solid blue explosions.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh boy. So yeah, let's look at these. These are I have satellite losses as green eyeballs, and see I'm not sure. Like I didn't look at the video of exactly which ones. It was like these, right?
No, I think it was further north.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
these are
those
all
to the left, I think.
Yeah, because this is I believe this one was an M113, I think. That's what it looked like on the satellite anyway. It's hard to tell, honestly. But yeah, these all these little vehicles that I found on the satellite that we missed for one reason or another. Some we missed just because we weren't observant enough, and some we missed just because I don't know if we had video for them, and some we did have the video, we couldn't find them, like these up here. All these we had the videos, but we just couldn't find them. So yeah, and every time I look at this high res satellite imagery, I find a new vehicle, like this one the other day. I found it, this MTLB. Yeah. It was nestled right in a nook under a tree. That's why I couldn't see it before. But if you zoom in close enough, I can't show the image without putting a stamp on top of it. That's what I've learned. If I put a stamp on top, I can show it. I haven't put a stamp on top yet. I can't show it. I was actually going to do that tonight, maybe. It is much higher res though, because it's 20 centimeter resolution. Like I think that one in Crinky is 1 meter or something like that. I don't actually know. Maybe it's 50 centimeter, but mine's 20 centimeter, so it's a big boy file. Let me tell you, it's big.
If you look at Crinky, you have different resolutions.
Yeah.
So there are some parts which are really high res, which I would assume are similar in terms of pixel density or whatever it's called.
Yeah, like this looks like 20 centimeter.
Yeah.
And this looks like maybe 1 meter.
Yeah. And those images are really expensive. So if someone shares them publicly, it's always worth to actually visit their Twitter and help.
Yeah, and the other thing is, be careful what you share publicly, because the Russians don't have access to a lot of good imagery, and when you publish it publicly, the Russians get access to it. So you have to be careful what you publish. That is the thing. But anyways, that's the stream, I think. To your technician. Best regards to your quote technician. I think you heard his feelings kick.
What? If he hurt his feelings? I don't think he has feelings. If not, we will close the window again, and then. Go back to your basement now.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's the stream. We'll be back on Tuesday. With more news, probably. Thanks for coming, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.